This is your March 2023 real estate housing market update. So in this video, we're going to go over all the latest stats for the cities of Temecula, Murrieta, and Menifee, California. We're going to talk about average sales price, how long the average home is taken to sell, what's going on with inventory levels, new listings popping up on the market, and then we'll give you my perspective on what we're seeing on a daily basis as real estate agents. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I am a realtor and team leader for the Short Real Estate team here in Temecula, California and Murrieta, California. And this video is our monthly staple. So this is the March 2023 real estate market update. So like I mentioned, we're gonna get into all the latest stats, keep you guys posted on what's been going on in the market. And we're gonna compare today's stats versus 12 months ago. So that year over year comparison. And like we've been doing, we're gonna compare back to what the peak of the market was back in April 2022. So you can see how much things have tailed off or how much things have changed since then. So first thing, if you're liking the videos, do me a favor, hit like, please hit subscribe. So it helps me, helps the channel. If there's anything that we can do to help you out with your real estate questions, we would love to help you. We deal with a ton of people that are relocating here to the area. So happy to answer any questions or point you in the right directions, recommend different neighborhoods or help you any way that we can with a home search. So I would love to hear from more of you guys for sure. So feel free to reach out, but let's go ahead and get into the video. So again, we're going to go over all the stats. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the total number of new listings. So like the other videos, we're going to start with the city of Temecula. So right now, so March 2023, we have seen over the last 30 days, there was 77 new listings popping up on the market. And if we compare that to last year, back in March 2022, we actually saw 182 new listings pop on the market. So that's a really drastic difference. That is, well less than half the amount of new inventory coming today as opposed to 12 months ago. I don't know, I'm trying to do quick math in my head, but percentage wise, it's probably 35%-ish or so of new listings now compared to last year. So that's a huge change. And then if we compare back to the peak of the market back in April, that was 249 new listings. So it's a huge change. You're going to see that stat, throughout all the cities, and I'll kind of talk to you a little bit about why and kind of really why that's concerning for us as a real estate market. I guess I'll rattle through the stats real quick. So that was city of Temecula. So moving on to city of Murrieta, the last 30 days, we've seen 94 new listings pop up on the market. And then compared to last year, we were up to 255 new listings popping up on the market. So again, that's a huge thing, and that's 30%, 30% of the inventory this year compared to last year. Back in April, there was 326 new listings on the market. And then if we look at the city of Menifee, last 30 days, we've seen 115 homes pop up for sale. Compared to last year, it was just about double, 206 new homes popping up on the market. And then at the peak of the market, we were looking at 265 new listings. So in general, again, same trends, way less new inventory today as opposed to 12 months ago for sure. And really the concern that we have is we have seen sales continue to roll pretty steadily since the beginning of the year. So homes are selling relatively quickly. Like it's very much so a balanced market, right? We have seen some competitive offer situations with multiple offers, things like that, but they're kind of few and far between. Maybe for a hot home that's super nicely redone or has a pool or something kind of cool or unique about it. But the biggest problem, because homes are continuing to sell, the amount of available inventory is dwindling more and more and more. And eventually that's going to cause us to spin back into a heavy seller's market. We're just short on inventory. And so we need more available homes for sale. And that's a conversation that I have with our buyers every single day when we're working with people that are looking to buy homes is, there is more inventory coming, every day or every week, but it's not enough. So as homes pop up, we need to be prompt. We need to go out and take a look at them quickly. And you'll see as it kind of flows into some of the other stats. But I think if this continues, continues for the next 90 days, 120 days, I could see us jumping back into seller's market really quickly, even though we're having these higher rates. So it's definitely it's an interesting time. This is an ever evolving real estate market over the last 12 months, especially for sure. And it's kind of interesting to see how things change each and every month. All right, so the next stat we're going to jump into is the total number of active listings. So this is basically available inventory, right? How many homes are available for sale? So if you are looking to buy a home in the city of Temecula, this is how many homes you have to choose from. So right now, there's a total of 187 available homes. And then if we compare that stat to last year, there was only 176 available homes. So we now, year over year, we have 10 more homes available for sale, right? So more or less, it's really a wash. But the metrics on the market are very different, where last year was a super crazy seller's market. Right now it's very much more of a buyer's market. We're kind of seeing it start to teeter a little bit. And then if we compare that back to April, the peak of the market, there was 247 available homes for sale. So it's been a real interesting thing to watch. I guess what I'm surprised about is when we typically look at what's transitioning, what most people anticipate is transitioning to a buyer's market, right? And a cooling real estate market. What we start to see is more and more and more and more available inventory, so more homes for buyers to choose from, right? And if there's more homes to choose from, they take longer to sell, and that gives the buyers more leverage to go in and negotiate a better deal, a lower price point, and get better terms, right? And that's really not what we're seeing because that first stat, we're not having enough new homes pop on the market. So it's really interesting. This is definitely not what people expected, a couple months ago. But right now, really inventory levels today are basically almost exactly the same, very close to as what they were 12 months ago when we were in a super crazy market. So City of Murrieta, you're going to see very similar trend. So right now, 224 available listings for sale, and then compared to last year, there was 239 available homes for sale. So there's actually less available today in Murrieta than there was a year ago. I mean, it's 15 home swing, so more or less we'll call that about the same. And then if we compare that to last April, peak of the market, we were up to 322 available homes for sale. So again, it's definitely surprising based on what we saw over the last 2, 3, 4 months. So City of Menifee, right now there are a total of 255 available homes for sale. And if we compare it to last year, there was 243 available homes for sale. So 12 additional houses to choose from as a potential home buyer. And then if we compare to back to the peak of the market, that was 289 available homes to choose from. So more or less, inventories are really basically about the same year over year, which in a vacuum maybe doesn't sound super interesting, but with the real estate market we've had over the last 6 months and how much things have changed, definitely surprising for sure. All right, so the next stat we're going to talk about is the average days on market, right? And so basically this is how long the average home is taking to sell in each given city, right? Again, same thing. We're going to compare today's number versus a year ago. And right now you are definitely seeing homes take significantly longer to sell than they did a year ago. But it's really surprisingly low compared to, what we saw 60, 90, 120 days ago. So I'll explain. So City of Temecula, right now, the average home is taking 55 days to sell. And 12 months ago, the average home was selling in just 18 days. And if we compare back to the peak of the market, the average home was selling in just 17 days. So right now, in Temecula, the average home is taking almost 2 months compared to it was just over 2 weeks a year ago, right? So that's a huge difference, right? I mean, that's 4 times as long to sell, just about, for the average home. So that's a huge swing, right? But what's surprising about it is as the market has slowed down so much over the last 6 months, you would think you'd start to see that number stretch out and out and out. You think we'd get to 90 days, 100 days, 120 days to change into a really heavy buyer's market. And that's just not what we've seen, especially over the last 30 days as we've seen the market pick up a little bit. So again, we need some more inventory to help keep things nice and calm and not see pricing jump back up. So City of Murrieta, same trend. So right now, the average home is taking 59 days to sell. Compared to last year, the average home was selling in just 20 days. And back at the peak of the market, we were at 14 days. City of Menifee. Right now, the average home is taking 51 days to sell, compared to a year ago. The average home was selling in just 25 days, and compared back to peak of the market, they were selling in just 16 days. So again, all three cities, your homes are definitely taking significantly longer today to sell. But I think as you start seeing more and more closings happen with over the next couple weeks, I think you're going to start to see that days on market shrink, which is why the available inventory is shrinking as well. So basically, we have seen homes sell quicker over the last few weeks than we have over the last few months, if that makes sense. All right, and then last stat is just average sales price, right? And so this is obviously everyone's main question as far as a good metric on what's going on with the market. Is it a hot market? Is the real estate market crashing? What is happening? So right now, average sales price for City of Temecula is $760,000, and if we compare that to last year, the average sales price was $733,000. So just looking at that stat, I mean, we have an average sales price today that's higher than it was 12 months ago, right? And I've explained this in some of my other videos, but again, when we're talking about pricing, a handful of sales at a certain price point, whether they're high sales or low sales, that maybe high big estates or small condos that aren't very expensive, can really tweak these numbers. But in general, yes, we do see a higher average sales price today than we saw 12 months ago. But if we compare back to the peak of the market, the peak of the market for Temecula, the average sales price we saw was $838,000. So in that case, it sounds like, well, hey, the market's crashed a bit, and so we have to kind of extrapolate the data a little bit and to be able to form a good opinion. But basically, we have seen the market cool down from where the peak was. Absolutely, yes. We have seen pricing cool down. Absolutely. Has it come down $80,000 worth of value for the average home? Probably not. I think that's probably extreme. So I think we have some outliers in there that are kind of throwing those numbers off. But we are seeing a lower average sales price. Yes. We are seeing homes take longer to sell. Yes. We do not really have any more available inventory to choose from. So, and if that continues to happen, I think we'll see more and more demand, which will continue to drive the price back up a little bit. So, as we're getting into the spring season, it's a really an interesting time. I think the next couple of months we're going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen on how things are going to change. Our hope is that we will see more inventory come up on the market that really will take us away from any type of multiple offer frenzy or anything like that. I think right now what really everyone is hoping for is that we see a more normalized market, that we continue to see prices flatline or maybe a slight increase or maybe a slight decrease, right? But we don't have like a real volatile market. So that is the hope, and I guess we'll have to see what's going to happen over the next couple months. But so City of Murrieta, we'll go over kind of same stats. So right now, average sales price for Murrieta $644,000, and compared to a year ago, it was $682,000. So you have a lower average sales price today than it was a year ago. And then at the peak of the market, we saw $745,000 was the average sales price. So you see some different trends there. And then City of Menifee, average sales price right now, $518,000 compared to 12 months ago, $533,000, and compared to peak of the market was $569,000. So Menifee is really very close to about the same what it was year over year. It's a slight decrease of about 15 grand, but more or less nothing really too volatile. So there's definitely interesting trends to watch and see how things play out over the next couple months. What's going on with sales price? We have seen some real interesting changes, which is kind of leading to this changing market with the interest rates. So we saw interest rates peak really back in early November. We were seeing over 7% was your average interest rate. Probably 7.25 is kind of what the 30-year fixed rate average was nationwide. And then so we saw that was kind of the highest. And then by early January, we saw that number really plummet down to somewhere in the 5.8, 5.9 range. So that's a 1.5% swing or so, right around there. But now since then, we have seen the rate go back up since the middle of January. So we are now close to right back to that 7% range. So that's a really big swing. Usually the rates move a quarter point here, quarter point there. eighth of a point here, eighth of a point there. But so for 1 point swings, that's pretty drastic. So it's hopefully we can get some leveling out with that. Hopefully the rate does taper down a little bit to make things a little bit more affordable for people. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Hopefully that's good information. Felt like maybe I rambled a little bit for you, but if you have questions, you can feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from you guys. You can call, text, email, and hopefully talk to you soon. Thanks.